Welcome to another episode of Toya Talks Wrestling. Today's episode, we're talking about Smabkdown, November 22nd, 2024. This one was actually a pretty good Smabkdown. So let's talk about some of the things that happened. So, they had the tournament week for the United States Women's Championship. This time for the triple threat match, it was Bianca Belair versus Chelsea Green versus Blair Davenport. So at the time, looks like Bianca Belair was about to win. She was about to go and pin Blair Davenport, but then there was the camera moved to like the backstage, and backstage you see Jade Cargill on top of a car, knocked out. Like she's knocked out, someone got to her, and everything else. And Bianca Belair was kind of conflicted. She didn't know if her to stay to the match or whatever. She ended up leaving, going backstage to see, what happened. Because, that's her partner, and that's her friend. And her friend just got, she was laid unconscious on a car, like, just out, whatever. So, nobody knows what happened. Wink, wink. Anyways, there's I guess the team Bianca, they had Naomi, Bailey, and Io was out there and everything else, and like Bailey's like, what happened, and everything else like that to Bianca and everything else. And like, what? Bianca's like, what happened, all that stuff. Like, I don't know. And Bianca and Bailey was out there, and Bailey and Bianca, they do not get along. So, Bailey was trying to be, like, helpful and friendly and stuff like that. And Bianca's like, look, I don't need to talk to you right now. You're not my friend. She's my friend. She's my partner. I need to go. And they went, and they put Jade Cargill, and she was in the ambulance. And Bianca Belair went with her. Right, and so they're gone. So then they had a match for tag team, Bailey and Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton and Candice LeRae. It ended up in disqualification because Nia Jax pretty much came out and I think jumped Bailey, or was it Naomi? I think it was Naomi. Pretty much threw Naomi into the barricade, and then disqualification, and then they started fighting and everything else, and Io Sky comes out and all this other stuff, and Io Sky gets covered by Raquel Rodriguez, because then Raquel and Liv come out, and then eventually Rhea Ripley came out with a kendo stick and pretty much just put out the whole Team Liv. Oh, yeah. I don't know what War Games is going to be now that Jade's out. I don't know if she's out for good, but I think she's out for good because I don't think Jade Cargill would do well at War Games. I just don't. And if they trade Jade Cargill for Bailey, I think that would be better. Because like I said, I like Jade Cargill, but I don't think she's ready for War Games. This is like a whole new ballpark, and I don't think she's ready. So if they trade Jade for Bailey, I'm all for it. And I think that it was Bianca Belair that pretty much put Jade Cargill into the car. Why? I don't care why. Okay, who cares? She did it. I think she did it. Maybe out of jealousy. Maybe she's tired of being. I have no idea, right? I don't know if it's me just hoping that it was Bianca Belair, but I think it's Bianca Belair because it's like we didn't really see anybody get jumped, and it's usually the partner that's usually the one who goes and jumps the other partner, right? It's usually that person most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time in WWE, that's how it usually is. And I was thinking, like, if we can get something like a Shawn Michaels versus Triple H type of segment when, when Shawn Michaels got jumped and, he found out that it was Triple H that did it, that would be cool. And also, I've been saying that Bianca Belair needs a character change, and turning Bianca Belair heel would be fantastic. I think she would make a great heel. She was a heel in NXT and she was fantastic. I think she would be wonderful. It will start off this feud and then they can have their match at WrestleMania. That's what I think. But the end results will have, if Jade Cargill's out and Bayley's in, that's cool. Also, it'll start off like a feud off with Bayley and Bianca Belair at a later date, I believe, as well. To settle their scores with each other. Because, Bayley, it's like Bianca Belair can't really go after Bayley because she's a face and they're also a face. But, like, as soon as they turn Bianca Belair heel, well, then definitely they can, do that. And I mean, maybe like Naomi, I don't know what's going to happen with Naomi and stuff like that, whatever, but that's what happened. Anyways, also in the match, Chelsea Green ends up winning the tournament, by the way. So she'll be advancing and she'll be fighting Bayley at a later date, because we still got the other match, which was supposed to be Jade, Michin, and Piper, but if Jade's out, it'd be a mystery person. I was like, oh man, maybe Charlotte Flair comes back and take her place. That'd be freaking crazy. That's just a joke, WWE. Please don't do that. We still have that match, and then Naomi versus I still can't remember who the other two women were. I'm so bad. Anyways, but yeah, they still have that match. Going. Some people say that it's gonna be Naomi versus Bayley at the end, and I'm just like, maybe, but I don't know, dude. I would like to see like Chelsea Green and Michin at it, because they do have their feuds, and I would like to see Chelsea Green win, because I think Chelsea Green is actually a very good wrestler, and I think if she wins the a title, maybe it'll just make her like more, like people will see her, like take her more seriously. You know what I mean? Like, I understand she's like the silly one and everything else, but it's like her being silly does not, mean that she's a bad wrestler, because she's actually a very damn good wrestler. And I think that her being the first person to be the women's champion for the United States title would be amazing. So, but yeah, I don't know what War Games is going to be looking like. We'll see. We will see. I still think Bianca did it. So we gotta let's stick to United States Championships. So we had LA Knight defending his title against Escobar, and before that they had Shinsuke Nakamura had like a little vignette talking about his justifications of why he attacked LA Knight last week, and basically just saying that LA Knight is very insecure and he's gonna prey on his insecurities and all this other stuff. Anyways, LA Knight ends up retaining his title, and Shinsuke Nakamura was on the stage watching the match. As soon as like the match was over, Shinsuke was like right on his ass, just beating the crap out of him, kept throwing him into the ring post a couple of times with the shoulders, and then get the his finishing move, and pretty much laid out and just walked away and stuff like that. Didn't really say anything to him. They had that little vignette thing, but that was pretty much it. By the way, the vignette was in Japanese, so you have to read it. But I mean, it was really good. Yeah, this is interesting. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's going on. I don't know when they're gonna actually have like a face-to-face talk or whatever, something like that. But so far, Shinsuke Nakamura has LA Knight's number. That's for sure. So another thing that happened was Cody Rhodes was backstage and he was on his way to the ring. And at this time, Nick Aldis was talking to, I think, Nia Jax about what happened to Jay, like basically asking her, like, do you know anything about this? And she's like laughing, like, no, I don't know anything about that. And then he goes and asks Cody Rhodes, like, what are you doing? Right? Where are you going? And he's like, you made this face-to-face match with me and Kevin. I'm going to the ring. And Nick was like, I don't even think Kevin's here yet, stuff like that. And I was like, Kevin, and then Cody Rhodes was like, well, we'll see, right? And he goes into the ring and stuff like that, and he's like, we're all here, everyone's here, I'm here, you're here, but you know who's not here? Randy Orton's not here because he got pile drived by Kevin Owens. They said Kevin Owens not here, but I think he's here. So Kevin, please come out and stuff like that. So Kevin comes out through the crowd, and Kevin Owens is like, I feel kind of like disrespected, I came here to SmackDown because they said the great Cody Rhodes summoned me, and when you're summoned by the great Cody Rhodes, you have to come. And I dressed to the nines, I dressed my best, and Kevin Owens had a cut off sleeve shirt with like the tuxedo printed on it. You've seen those shirts, right? And everything else, and like some sweatpants and stuff like that. It was just hilariously funny to talk about. He dressed to the nines, and he's like, I dressed to the nines, and you don't even respect me enough to wear one of your politician suits. Cody Rhodes was wearing like a sweat jacket and sweatpants and tennis shoes. Like, he's ready to fight. He wasn't here to talk. He was ready to fight. And basically Cody Rhodes is like, I summoned you not to be in the crowd talking. I summoned you to be in the ring so we can fight. And he's like, Kevin Owens like, oh, you want to fight me? Is that what it is? Is that what you want to do? You want to fight me? He's like, let me ask you, why are you so riled up for? Like, why are you like so angry for all the time? Like, and he's like, cause what you did to Cody Rhodes, like, what you did to Randy Orton, what I did to Randy Orton. It's like, well, I don't understand why you are so mad, because the thing that happened to Randy Orton is your fault. And Cody was like, my fault? I'm like, yeah. And it's like, yeah, your fault, right? By the way, it's his fault. Anyways, and he's like, and Kevin Owens is like, I know it's going to be surprising to you, Cody, but sometimes you don't always get what you want and when you want it and stuff like that. And as Cody was in the ring, he's about to step into the crowd, but then like Nick Aldis and security came and pretty much stopped him. So Cody Rhodes ends up going back into the ring. And then, like I said, Cody Rhodes was like, it's my fault, and Kevin Owens was like, it's your fault. And then Kevin Owens gets a little bit closer, so now he's basically on the announce table, and he's like saying, it's your fault, because and Kevin Owens pretty much was like, for the last 4 years, I have fought the Bloodline. The Bloodline tries to take my career away from me. More importantly, Roman Reigns tried to take my career away from me. He tried very hard, and he couldn't do it, and he still can't do it. He will never be able to do it, and stuff like that. And what did you do? I fought with you against the Bloodline. I tried to help you in WrestleMania 39 to get the title off of Roman Reigns. I celebrated with you when you won the title this year, so you could finish your story and everything else. And what did you do? You did the one thing you shouldn't have done. You teamed up with Roman Reigns, and you shouldn't have teamed up with Roman Reigns. The guy pretty much ended my career and everything else. And the guy that you were battling and stuff like that, it's your fault. And Cody Rhodes was like, all right, enough already. Like, no, like, me teaming up with Roman had absolutely nothing to do with you. Roman Reigns asked me, and I thought it was the right thing to do. Technically, he didn't ask you. Nick Aldis put you guys together, but whatever, that's neither here nor there. We're not getting into all that. He's like, you know what, if you want to use that as an excuse to come after me or whatever, that's fine and stuff like that. But, the biggest hurdle that you have, Kevin Owens, it's not me. It's not Randy Orton. It's not all these people. It's you. You always have to be the victim. And the worst enemy for Kevin Owens is Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, you want to be the top guy. Kevin Owens wants to be the guy, the face of WWE. He's like, you have been the top guy for the last decade. What are you talking about? You're a Grand Slam champion. You're this, you're that. I mean, just giving, like, Cody Rhodes was giving, like, Kevin Owens all his accolades and everything else like that. Which, everything he said is true. he has been here. Just because he's not champion right now doesn't mean he's not top guy. You know what I mean? Right? He's like, you are your own worst enemy. You and stuff like that. And and Cody Rhodes is basically like, everybody knows that you're all these things. The only person who don't know who they're all these things is Kevin Owens. So then, Cody Rhodes continues on basically telling Kevin Owens he's, sabotages himself. He talked about a Bash in Berlin where, Kevin Owens could have pulled the trigger and could have been like WWE champion, because at the time Cody Rhodes, his knee was injured and he could have just powerbombed him and just took the title, but he didn't do it. He didn't pull the trigger. And Cody Rhodes was like, well, eventually you did pull the trigger, only you pulled the trigger on the wrong guy. And he said Randy Orton was your friend. Randy Orton did not deserve what you did to him, right? If you had a problem, you just come to me. And and basically he was like, look, I'm gonna fight you, and we're gonna have a match. I don't care if it's tonight, I don't care if it's at Survivor Series or at Saturday Night's Main Event. We're going to fight, and we're gonna fight each other. And then Kevin Owens is like, oh, you want to fight me, right? Well, it's not gonna be tonight, but when it happens, and I do what I'm going to do, when it happens, when I do what I'm going to do, this just me doing my job, right? And for the record, I love Randy Orton, right? I love Randy Orton, but you and look what I did to him, but I hate. And basically he walked away, and then Cody Rhodes was like, Kevin Owens, you don't hate me, you hate yourself. He said basically, if you're willing to cross a line, I'm willing to cross lines too, and stuff like that, and whatever. So I did not do that promo any justice, but it was really good promo. I don't know when this match is going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen at Survivor Series or at Saturday Night's Main Event. Not really sure, but it was a good promo. I will definitely remember to leave the link down below, so you can go and watch it if you haven't seen it yet. Worth the watch. I pretty much did not do their promo justice at all, because it was really good. And there was a lot to unpack there. There was so much to unpack there. My goodness. But yeah, I really like when Cody Rhodes legitimately looked like he was pissed off. I like this side of Cody. Like, where was this Cody when he was going like after Roman and The Rock? Like, where is this Cody at? I mean, I guess it could not happen because Rock is, Cody Rhodes' boss, so it probably wouldn't work. But still, the intensity of Cody Rhodes, when Cody Rhodes is just down to business, he is the best Cody Rhodes. And by the way, it's his fault. Okay? He is the villain in the story. I'm sorry. And Bianca Belair fucking jumped her partner. I'm taking these to the grave. Anyways, let's talk about the last thing on my list of things that happened on SmackDown. The Bloodline 2 Solo and Bronson Reed come to the ring, and they had started off the show, by the way. And Solo was basically like, our team is ready. We got a far by guys. We're ready for War Games and stuff like that. But who's not ready? Roman Reigns and his team's not ready, right? Roman Reigns not even ready. He ain't even here yet. And it's like, tell you what, Roman, once you get here, meet me back in this ring, and I want you to surrender to me, and then I want your whole team to acknowledge me as your tribal chief. And that was pretty much that segment. Then you go backstage and you see the Usos, you see Sammy, and you see Roman. They're all sitting there and everything else, and they're trying to figure out who can they have as a fifth partner. And I think Jay was like, well, how about Cody Rhodes? And Roman Reigns was like, no, I've moved on from him. He's old news, whatever. So not Cody Rhodes. And then Sami was like, well, considering what happened on Monday, we can try Seth Rollins again. And Roman Reigns didn't even say anything. He just shot like Sami Zayn a look like, what the fuck did you just say? Like, what? No, like, he got that look with like an angry mom. Like when you say something, when you back talk your mom, like back in the 80s mom or whatever, and you just looked at you like, boy. like basically it was like a hell fucking no. I know you did not to say what you said. Don't ever say that. Don't ever mention that name to me again, pretty much kind of look. And then Sami Zayn's like, all right, cool, right? And then, you know, they're trying to figure things out, and Roman Reigns is like, look, we don't need anybody else. We can do it with us four, right? As long as we're together, as long as we stick together, we can do it and stuff like that. I'm like, that's the spirit, Roman. Yes. Woo! You know, the motivation. Good for you, Roman. Motivate your team. And then you go, and he was like, Roman Reigns is like, if you know, if we die together. And I'm like, yes, I love it. And you know, Jay's like, I'm with you. Jamie was like, I'm with you. And then Sammy's like, yeah, I'm with you too. But what's the plan? And Roman Reigns like, I don't know. And I'm like, good plan. Very good plan. This should work out fantastic. Anyways, so they're all in the ring. They have Solo and his Bloodline War Games was facing Roman Reigns on his Bloodline War Games team. And Solo was like, look, all you need to do is come surrender to me and stuff like that. He's like, I love all you guys. I've always loved all of you guys. I've never stopped loving you guys. All four of you guys. If you would just come over to our side and team up with us, we can dominate this place. And I mean, to be fair, if all like 9 of these guys went together, they would pretty much dominate the place. It would just be WWE Bloodline. There would be nobody else around, and they would just take over every damn thing and stuff like that. He's like, just come over here because you don't have a wise man, right? You don't have a fifth man. What choice do you have, right? You're going to either join me and my team, or you're gonna die where you stand. I'm like, why does everyone keep saying dying all the time? Anyway, you know, so he has the mic over to Roman. Roman Reigns is about to speak, and then you hear, ladies and gentlemen, my name, and the crowd goes wild, and Paul Heyman comes out, and Paul Heyman wasn't wearing I noticed that Paul Heyman wasn't wearing his normal suit. He had like a suit jacket, but then he had like a red shirt, kind of like this how what Solo dresses like. So I noticed that. I don't know, that's a teaser for things to come, but we'll see. Anyway, so he's like, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. He was like, you know, excuse me, you know, sometimes like maybe my math is wrong. You know, I was put through a table at Madison Square Garden, but it looks like there's a little bit of unevenness here, where it's like there's 4 versus 5. You can't have 4 versus 5, not out of War Games. We gotta have 5 versus 5. Right? And as he's saying this, he's pointing to the entrance of the stage, and out comes, yes, we already know, CM Punk. Like I said last week, made only sense, right? CM Punk comes out, the crowd goes wild. He don't even say anything. He does a beeline to the ring, and it's on and popping. Now they're fighting, right? He just beelines it, and they start battling. You got Roman's bloodline versus Solo's bloodline, and they're fighting each other and everything else like that. Pretty much, there were some Superman punches, there were some super kicks, some GTS, and everything else like that, right? And eventually there was basically everyone's out the ring except for um Roman Reigns and CM Punk, and they're looking at each other, right? They're giving each other the look. And here comes Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, and they go and they try to get Roman and Punk, but they ended up getting a GTS and a spear. And again, Roman Reigns and CM Punk are just looking at each other. And Roman Reigns is like, what are you doing here? Right? And CM Punk, they're not really talking. They're kind of like mouthing the word, but you can kind of hear them. And CM Punk is like, I'm not here for any of you guys. I'm here for him, pointing to Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is like in the middle on the apron. He's like having like this smirk on his face, like he's just looking at his two sons, like so proud, like, man, this is my oldest child. He did so great. Look at my oldest child over here, and he's doing so great, and all this other stuff. And basically, he said CM Punk's like, I'm doing this for him and all this other stuff. They were playing CM Punk's music. You know, the Bloodline was put up the ones up. The CM Punk was doing like the holding his hands and stuff like that, and you know, Paul Heyman was like in the middle, and it was great. So we know that CM Punk will be the fifth guy. And the reason why they didn't wait for the last minute, it was because they probably wanted to sell more tickets. So go ahead and just put Punk in there, get more tickets so you can get more sales, and you know, people can order the PLE, sorry, and stuff like that. This was good. This was really, really good. You can see there's gonna probably be in the future a CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. I can see that probably SummerSlam. And like I said, Paul Heyman was not wearing his normal suit, and I don't know, does Paul Heyman turn on Roman Reigns? Because I mean, Roman Reigns wasn't there for like Paul Heyman when he got thrown through a freaking table. Like, Roman Reigns was like, after WrestleMania, he pretty much, you know, just went away. Didn't even say anything to the wise man. And then, you know, it was like, oh, now you need me? And Roman Reigns tried to call the wise man, and like, you only called him because you need him. You didn't call him to see how he was doing or anything else like that. Because if you did, you would know that he changed his number and everything else. So I don't know, because I feel like if Paul Heyman did do that to Roman Reigns, that he would have every right to. Because just like Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns is to blame for the shit that happened to Paul Heyman, right? I don't know if that happens or not. I don't know. But if it did, I wouldn't blame them. I wouldn't blame him, and I would not be surprised if we see The Rock and that The Rock was working with Paul Heyman. Because, I mean, it seems like something that Paul Heyman would do. And that, you know, The Rock is the one pulling all the strings around here and stuff like that. I would not be surprised that happened. I mean, it's very iffy. It's very, like, out there. I know, but all in all, it is possible. So you have War Games, and it's going to be a very interesting War Games. Again, I wish it was just old bloodline versus new bloodline, but, you know, I guess if you're going to set up, I mean, you're going to set up the seeds for long-term booking for the future, makes sense, right? It makes a whole lot of sense. Yeah, so that was pretty much SmackDown, but there's some other stuff on there, but who cares? I'm very interested to see what War Games is like. This is obviously going to be CM Punk's first War Games, so that's going to be interesting. I mean, the thing about this whole War Games thing is that there's going to be so many stories going to come out. So many fucking stories that's going to come out from it. There's so many speculations, so many things that could happen. It's so much. My head's in a whirlwind right now. I really don't know. Like, I'm so confused, and I love it. This is like what I love. I love when like WWE gets my mind rolling and stuff like that. But yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video before I start rambling some more, and y'all be like, "Oh God, here she goes again." But yeah. By the way, Bianca Belair beat her partner Jade Cargill. I'm go ahead and say that again. I'm just gonna say it forever. I'm to the grave, dude, to the grave. But anyway, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I will see you on Tuesday, unless there's some other stuff that happened before then. But I'll see you Tuesday for after Raw, which I believe is another tape show. Or is it SmackDown, a tape show? I don't know. One of them is a tape show because, I mean, the holidays, it's next week. You got Thanksgiving and stuff like that, so makes sense. Anyways, I will see you guys then. Have a great day. Bye.